Well, hi there, everyone. This is Scott Nicholson, and this is an InPlay video review of this game here with cubes, and you're exchanging cubes for points and cubes for things, and it's Lords of Waterdeep by Dungeons and Dragons. What's that all about? That's very unusual. In fact, this is a Euro game painted with Dungeons and Dragons paint. We are playing Lords, and the Lords are sending adventurers out on quests. The adventurers are these little cubes. So there's, as you can clearly see, there's clerics, and there's some rogues in there, and mages, and so you gather clerics, rogues, mages, and you send them out on these quests. So the quests are, give us 3 oranges and a purple, and you get 4 points and some cubes back. You also have the ability to build buildings, and if you build a building, it shows that you've built a building by showing your little marker there. So if someone goes to this building and places a worker placement game, so you place your worker there to get that reward, and whoever built the building gets that. So on your turn, you put out one of your workers, you get cubes, or you get some money, or you get quests. Then you can achieve one of your quests, which may give you a short-term reward or some sort of reward that works for you every turn of the game. So the game goes pretty quickly. We have 2 more turns in the game. It's our first play. We've probably been playing for half an hour. It's going to feel very familiar to people that have played Kalis or Pillars of the Earth, any of those basic worker placement games. A couple of things I'm a little frustrated by. One is the tiny print on some of these quests, trying to remember what's going on. In fact, I'm not even trying. I'm just looking at what I can afford and going for it. On the side of the board are all these buildings we've built, so now there's 7 different places to try and track. And again, because they're not all symbolic, you have to try and remember, oh, what's out there? Has anyone taken it? Etc., etc. Why don't we speak to one of the players and find out what he thinks about it? Hey there, who are you?
Hi, I'm Jason.
Hi, Jason. What do you think about this game?
Well, as Scott said, it's very much a Euro game. I mean, I tend to like Euros and cube pushers and worker placement. Like Le Havre is my personal favorite. So, in that respect, I mean, it's enjoyable. I mean, it's kind of, you do your thing, but it's hard to have any kind of long-term strategy at this point. There's no sense of progression like there is in Agricola, Le Havre, or Kalis, where the idea is you need to kind of generally get more resources or convert them or work your way up in some kind of manner. Like Scott, I'm just kind of getting the cheapest quests and accumulating points as quickly as I can. I do have a sense that some cubes are worth more than others. For example, I have a quest that only needs 5 white, which is a fairly small number of cubes, but for 25 points, which is far and away the most points I've seen so far. So to me that suggests that there is some kind of order, but it's very, other than that, you wouldn't really suspect it. It does also, as Scott pointed out, have a lot of cards, a lot of little rules exceptions, a lot of little text, a lot of flavor text. Maybe this would be a good gateway game for people who tend to fall more on the Ameritrash spectrum, who like that kind of theme, but I don't know. Worth a shot.
I'd agree. I think this game is probably best for people who have wanted to try these sort of Euro games but are very familiar with the Dungeons & Dragons line. I think it has a good chance of having people try it and say, hey, I like this. Are there games like this that are deeper? So that's good. I'm most disappointed, though, with this component right here. Why did they have to do the stupid little cubes? This game would have become much more meaningful to me in what I'm doing, because there's all these stories. I mean, they've spent a lot of time, defend the Tower of Luck with flavor quests. But if instead of cubes they'd actually had little figures or something representing the different classes, I would feel like I was actually doing things. I wasn't just pushing cubes around. But because they chose cubes, it loses that feel for me, and I think that would have made a difference. One of the things that I actually do like about this game that's a little different is you have the ability to mess with other people in a way you don't normally mess with people in these sort of games. You've got quests you're working towards, and one thing you can do is actually, if someone's doing well, you can hamper them by giving them a quest they have to deal with. And that's actually a nice feature that you don't normally see in the sort of toothless Euros. One thing I wanted to show you before we go, the game has all these nice little divots to put everything in, so it's very organized, although it took us 10 minutes to follow it up. I'm going to be very curious to see if this board is going to do what it's supposed to do, which is keep everything in together. One of the things I don't care for about this game setup is the box lid. Look at the box lid here. It's this little skinny thing, so when you put it on the big box, it doesn't even close down all the way. I guess that's to prevent you from storing it on end, because if you store it on end, well, you can imagine what's going to happen. We'll see. just an update. After we finished the game, I found that we actually talked about the game for a while. There's a number of connections that go on in that game between different sorts of quests and different buildings and things like that that really weren't apparent to us when we made the video. So when it was done, we actually all said we want to try it again because we want to explore some of the relationships we began to uncover as we explored the game. So that was intriguing, that there appears to be more meat and more depth to this game than may appear at first. And in a game that takes about an hour, that's an interesting thing to find. So I look forward to trying it again. Oh, and about the box. So I carried the game home, you know, in my bag, and I wanted to see, did all of that nice storage work? Let's find out. It's been flipped upside down. It's been stood on end. How did the pieces stay in? Let's see, and... well, pretty good, actually. Not bad at all. These little things came out, but other than that, everything seemed to stay where it would. Good. So there you go.